Okay, this video is going to be a little long, so you're going to have to pay attention. The last video we talked about two types of nouns. We talked about common nouns and we talked about proper nouns. This time we're going to talk about a couple different things, but the main thing that we're going to talk about is, to start with, are count nouns and non-count nouns. Okay, very simple, easy definition to understand. A count noun is something that you can count or you can have more than one of. All right. For example, they use the word dog, and you can say the dogs are in the park, so you can add an S to it. It means it's a count noun. You can also put words in front of it. You can have one dog, two dogs, and three dogs. Okay, those are called count nouns. Now there are other things called non-count nouns. And those are things that you cannot put numbers in front of and you cannot use in the plural, but they're still nouns. All right. For example, if you have the word luck, luck is a noun, okay, but you can't say one luck, two lucks, and three lucks, and you also can't add an S on it, like they have had really bad lucks over the last few years. So these are called non-count nouns. All right. Now the cool thing about nouns that you make plural is that they have pretty regular spelling patterns, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But we have regular plurals and we have irregular plurals. Okay, and we'll talk about those. And the rules are pretty simple. Actually, they're not overly difficult to understand. So we'll talk about those in a second here. Okay. So, there's two sounds that you hear at the end of a word when it's pluralized. You hear and they're both spelled with an S, a single S. Okay, so the first sound you hear is the word S, as in S, and we're going to make that sound look like this. Okay, the second sound you hear is a Z, Z, and you both spell it with an S. Okay, they're just pronounced differently, and we're going to talk about that, why they're pronounced that way, and how to say it. The other type of sound that you hear is an easy, like buzzes, and the easy at the end is spelled ES. Okay, that's how you pluralize it. So if you listen to the words and their sounds, that's what they mean, and that's how they come up with them. But let's talk about why are some S's at the end of words pronounced as an S, and why are some pronounced as a Z? Well, it's kind of cool. I'm going to have you read these pages on your own, because I'm not going to read through it with you. But that's for you to read, so that's why I'm flipping through them here. So you can read these pages, pause the video and read the pages through and make sure you understand them really well before you move on. I'm just pulling out the most important things for you. Let's talk about when a word is pronounced with an S sound or a Z sound at the end, and how do you know? Basically, it comes down to what we call voiced or unvoiced consonants. Okay, voiced or unvoiced, and it is exactly what it sounds like. If a voice comes out of your mouth at the end of the word before the plural, then it's a voiced consonant. If only a air comes out, then it's an unvoiced consonant, and I'll walk you through several examples here so you understand. All right, they give you several examples. And I'm going to emphasize the sound so you can really hear it good. These are unvoiced, and it means that no, your vocal cords do not vibrate when you say them. So if it's unvoiced, you pronounce the word with an S at the end. If it's voiced, you pronounce the word with a Z sound at the end. Okay, so let's take a look at what they have over here. The cap. If you notice the final P, no voice comes out when you say the P. It's just the P sound. So we pronounce the plural caps, cups. And I'll just go down. The T sound has no voice, just the T. and then the plural would be hats. Okay, say with the K sound, k, backs, F sound, f, cliffs, the TH sound, paths. Okay, so you can see that anything that is unvoiced, the final consonants before the vowel, it always sounds like an S. Okay, it sounds just like it's written. Okay, now we're going to get into words at the end that end in a voiced consonant. And when a word ends in a voiced consonant, it's pronounced with a Z at the end, even though it's spelled with an S. So here's some examples. The B sound, lab. You can hear the voice at the end, right? Lab. And so you would say labs. Okay, globe, globes. Now I'm emphasizing these and exaggerating the sound, but it's a voiced consonant at the end. Bed, beds, shade, shades. Okay, and then of course a couple more. The G, bugs, waves, girls, hams, hens, rings. Okay, and you can hear the voice at the end, the voiced consonant, so it's a Z sound. All right. And then, of course, you have to know that all vowels are voiced in English, all right? So anything that ends in a vowel is a voiced consonant, and it has the Z sound at the end of it also, okay? So zoos, cows, bees, shows, trees, okay? So that's how you know when it sounds like a Z or when it sounds like an S, all right? And when it sounds like a Z, you still spell it with an S. All right, now I'm going to have you read down here about words that end in Y and what you do to them. But basically, it's a spelling rule that says when a word ends in a Y and you pluralize it, like baby, you pluralize it, you take the Y off and you have the IE, right? So babies, you replace the Y with the IES. Okay, this is true if the Y is preceded by a consonant and the Y is acting like a vowel. It has a vowel sound. So you replace it with the IES, babies. The only way it's not true is if the vowel or the Y is with another vowel. Okay. So for example, fly. If you were to look at the word fly, the Y is acting like a vowel all by itself. So if you have the word fly, the plural would be flies because the Y is a vowel all by itself. However, the word boy, the Y is actually acting with the O. There's a vowel before it. It's part of the vowel sound, okay? So when we pluralize those types of words, we would just add the S without putting you wouldn't spell it B-O-I-E-S, okay? Because it has a vowel preceding the Y, okay? It has a vowel right there before the Y. The Y is actually part of the vowel sound, all right? So that's a little spelling pattern there that you're going to want to know. And of course, all these words would be since it's a vowel sound, they would all have the Z sound at the end. Flies, boys, okay, toys. All right. Let's take a look and see if there's any other important thing. I don't think so. I think that's all you need to know, but read through those pages again just before you start your activity. And all you do on your activity is, I'll show you here in a second. It says all of the nouns in the following list form their plural in the regular way, with a single sibilant sound spelled S. Depending on the nature of the final sound in the singular form of the noun, the S can be pronounced as either S or, as we saw earlier, as a Z. Write the entire plural form of the noun in the S or the Z column that shows the pronunciation of the plural S. And this is really important. Say the words out loud, so you can hear the voiced consonants or the unvoiced consonants, all right? Here's an example that's done for you. Flame, you hear the at the end. It's your voice, a voice is coming out of your voice box. Flame, Your voice box is vibrating, right? So it goes in the Z column. Flames. All right, and they have it right there. 3 threes. And that's an odd one, but you can have groups of threes going to the store, all right? We just don't normally pluralize that. Tricks goes in the S column, all right? So that you're going to do that. Just put them in the right column, pluralize them correctly, put them in the right column. When you have a Y, remember the rule. If it's followed by a consonant, you change the spelling. And if it's followed by a vowel, if it's part of the vowel, then you don't change the spelling. You just put it in the Z column, okay? So go ahead and try that. And of course, it goes on to the next page, and you have 20 of them to do. If you have any questions, please come in before class and I will help you out, or come in after class, or come in before school and I will help you out. Good luck, and I think it should be pretty, if you might want to go back and read it, but I think it should be pretty self-explanatory. Talk to you later, and see you in the next video.